Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello, welcome to Down on the Podcast brought to you by The Wheel. I'm your host, Adam Hess, and with me as always, he's pro-heat. I'm reading. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's anti-ice. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
Doing good. Did you think of that joke earlier? You're really proud of it?
Yeah, wrote it down. I got it in my notes.
So it'll be part of your tight five?
Yeah. It's going to be a lot like, is this thing on?
Yeah.
Like, the comedy's not actually going to
yeah.
be that good, but for some reason, we're going to put me on stage anyways.
Yeah. Nice. Very good.
So we're definitely not going to get into the whole ice thing because for whatever reason, every sports podcast is talking about that. And
Right.
we aren't the people to cover that in an intelligent way. If you want our take on it, I would refer you to Sir Charles Barkley, who had a great take on it. That's who you should listen to.
Yes.
There you go. For all your political decisions, go to Charles Barkley, I would say. Is there really a decision at this point, though? You know, outside of the Justice Department, are the people out there going like, you know, what they're doing in Minnesota makes total sense? Is it like a common take anywhere, or is that really just the Justice Department right at this point?
I have no idea.
We just wake you up from
why?
a nap there, bud?
What is Discord's all fucked up today?
So what? Ignore it. Doesn't matter. Stop looking at it.
I have to.
No, don't look at it.
All right.
Just draw a picture of me and put it on your laptop.
Okay.
Mike, you got any, random stuff you want to talk about before going into the podcast?
Nothing. I got nothing today. The brain's just blank.
Yeah, what is with you, man?
I don't know. Sorry.
Didn't sleep well? Sick?
Yeah. I sound a little sick. It's weird.
You don't sound sick at all. That's why I'm confused.
Oh.
Do you think you know what my natural voice sounds like anymore? For the last, I don't know, year we've been doing podcasts, I've had cat allergies for every single podcast.
Yeah.
And so I've just been sniffly and nasally for like over a calendar year now. Do you think you have any idea what I sound like when I don't have allergies anymore?
No. If you didn't have allergies, I'd be like, who are you?
I sound exactly like Patrick Warburton when I don't have allergies.
Oh my God.
Mike,
Wow,
could you do a quick impression of what I sound like when I don't have allergies? Break one of those out.
You kind of sound like this. I can't do it.
It's been so long that bit's been going that I don't even remember the origins of it. I don't remember how this started. Like, I can't imagine we were watching something with Patrick Warburton in it.
No, I feel like I just did a Warburton one time. It was so god awful, and you just never let it go.
Yeah, it's like
it hasn't gotten better.
Yeah,
I can't do that either.
Yeah, you think with the intermittent Warburton practice over the last 10 years, you would have gotten a little bit better at it?
Nope, can't. It's a tough nut to crack, the Warburton.
Well, how about you hit us with our Woody Allen, or with your Woody Allen, and then we'll get into the podcast.
Woody Allen?
Yeah, you got a Woody Allen?
Oh God, I don't.
Mike.
Yeah.
Conference championship games happened.
Mm-hmm.
We watched them. There was two of them. We have crowned our Super Bowl contenders, the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Will be playing in San Francisco for the ultimate trophy in professional football, and that's including European football. Any before we get into our segments here, what was give me your 5-word synopsis of how you feel emotionally about the Super Bowl matchup.
This is weird, bro. How?
This is weird, bro. How?
Yeah.
Do you think there's like how many AFC teams are kicking themselves for not making the Super Bowl?
15.
It's got to be something like that, right?
Yeah.
Outside of fucking the disasters like Cleveland and Vegas. Is every other AFC team going fuck, we could have beat Jared Stidham in the snow.
Right. They're all going, what the hell? I mean, I know for sure there's 6 teams that are doing it right now.
Yeah. Including your currently coachless Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
But Mike, we're going to break down these two games, and we're going to start with a little bit of some weekly awards. Since we're going to be talking a lot about these two games for the next 91 minutes.
Your imaginary watch upside down.
Yeah, you ever see someone who wears their watch on the inside? Yeah. So you could be like,
I always thought,
I have a business meeting in 1H minutes.
wait, people do that intentionally?
Yeah.
I always thought it was just like, oh, their watch like slid around, and they were like, oh, God.
I see it as I think of it as like a female thing. Like women have the smaller watches they wear upside down. I saw a guy a few years ago when I was working at Starbucks who did that with like not a Rolex but like a knockoff Rolex, like a Golex, which just had this giant fucking face on it, and I was like, you can't even bend your wrist, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of that?
Right. You say, hey, girls wear it like that, and you're not a girl.
And then I made him wear a dress and put his hair in pigtails, and I laughed at him.
Everybody look at the little girl.
Anyways,
Here's your macchiato.
we're gonna Can I please have a tip so I can make rent? We're gonna do some weekly awards. We're only gonna do a few awards here because we are going to be breaking down these two games a lot for the remainder of the podcast, and so I didn't want to go overboard on the awards and then tread some similar ground over and over again. So we're just gonna stick it 4 awards apiece. I have the 2 that we have to give out, which is the Brandon Staley Memorial Worst Coaching Decision of the Week, as well as Worst Performance, and then 2 free spaces. So we'll start where we always start, Mike. What is your Brandon Staley Memorial Worst Coaching Decision of the Week?
I don't have one. I had like a Brandon Staley. Maybe you should have done that differently.
Who would be the coach that you wouldn't doubt but you have questions about? The Greg Roman Questionable Play Call of the Week award.
Yeah, like, and it goes to Sean McVay actually. Shaughnessy McVay.
I'm glad I wrote 2 of these down because I think you're going to say the Sean McVay one I already wrote down.
Really?
Well, let's see. Let's see what you got.
Mine wasn't really like a specific moment as it was just like in the third quarter. That game really starts to, I mean, it's a good game, start to finish, but it really starts popping off in the third quarter. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm all like phlegmy. It's disgusting. The Seahawks come out and punt, but then they get that turnover, which was hilarious, by the way, on the muff punt return, and they score real quick. Dude, Stafford comes out and just prime Stafford form. He's like, "You're not taking this from me. I'm old and I want one more Super Bowl." Goes down the field in 2 minutes 21 seconds. Then the Seahawks respond pretty quick, and then I said to myself at that point, not pretty quick, it was 4.5 minutes, but Seahawks respond. And I said to myself, I was like, man, you know, Rams defense isn't playing great. If I'm LA, maybe I want to slow this tempo down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to stop flying down the field, which I know sounds like, hey, just take the points. That's usually my thing, but I was like, maybe we want to slow this thing down a little bit. They don't, and like he just guns it down the field, scores a touchdown. Ball goes back to Seattle, and it just went into the problem where their defense just couldn't get off the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. I'm like, let's slow this thing down some and try to keep our defense off the field as long as possible. They didn't do that, and like the next series, yeah, they finally got the stop, and Seattle punted, but they killed almost 5 more minutes because the Rams defense just couldn't get off the field.
So your most questionable coaching decision of the week was
Tempo.
Got it. Mine also McVay related, so we did not have the same thing here. Mine was actually a Brandon Staley Memorial Worst Coaching Decision of the Week. McVay called a timeout to decide if he wanted to challenge a play.
Yeah.
His team
just challenged the play.
then lost because they were out of timeouts. Just challenge the play, McVay. Just challenge. Throw the challenge flag. Like, it was, I think, with about a minute left until the 2-minute warning and also. So are you worried that, like, in the next 60 seconds, there's going to be, like, a play that you absolutely need your challenge for when you lose this? Like, if you're going to waste the timeout, he also didn't throw the challenge flag after calling the timeout. If you're going to waste the timeout, just waste the timeout with a challenge flag.
Yeah.
Or ideally, with the results of this, don't waste your timeout at all, because then you could have used it when Puka Nacua wasn't out of bounds.
He wasn't. I thought. Oh yeah, he wasn't out of bounds. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying he was. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because it wasn't a situation where he was was like you said, it was a spot of the game where there are no coaches challenge. Like when that happens, I get a coach calling a timeout because they can't call the challenge. They're hoping if they call a timeout and like buy time, the refs will review it.
Yeah, and they can go scream at the refs. Do you think a coach could gain an advantage by just being really nice to refs?
No.
Like if newly minted Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike McCarthy showed up to a game with fresh baked cookies for the refs, and like when they made a call, walked over and went, "Hey, you know what? That went against us, but that was a good call." You think he could like subtly push him towards not wanting to call penalties against his team?
No, the refs don't strike me as people who have any gratitude or can get into a friendship.
You would say that because you've been insisting for years that the refs are on the payroll of Patrick Mahomes, so
Yeah.
you can only see them as like the empire.
Yeah, like if you're not paying them, they really don't care about you. They're like a stripper.
Like Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
Can I I'm gonna cut this out of the podcast, but can I read you my review that I wrote for Captain America Civil War?
Yeah.
I will personally finance the Russo brothers remake of The Raid just for the chance to get to tie Marissa Tomei's shoes.
Why are we cutting that from the podcast? It's funny.
No one cares about my movie reviews on this
Okay.
podcast. That's for the Oscars podcast that went up earlier today. Mike, next award. Worst performance. The worst performance. Who do you have? You think your dog's going to beat you up again like he did at the end of the last podcast?
I don't think so.
Who do you have as the worst performance from Conference Championship weekend?
Worst performance? Just the Rams defense. Which I called.
You did call. I don't think they played as bad as they had been playing.
They had some. I mean, they sacked Arnold a few times.
3 times. 28 yards.
3 times. I mean, Seahawks won 7 of 13 on 3rd down. They could not get off the field. When
They could not get off the field. That's true. That's your future head coach that you're shitting on there, so you better be careful. I will say, disastrous game for my boy Cam Curl.
Yeah.
Tough game. Tough game for Cam Curl.
The secondary in particular just couldn't really. No one in the secondary played well. Jack Smith and Jigba just 8 and 8 and 8. Speaking of eat,
yeah,
should you probably go ahead and just eat your foot that's in your mouth, or eat some crow?
About what?
Dude, Darnold doubter you were.
I was the earliest Darnold believer in
Yeah,
history.
and then you turned on him. And
Yeah,
you doubted him. I believe.
It's just for the great arc, you know?
Yeah.
Without me, without people like me, would this Darnold thing even be compelling? If everyone just who liked him in the draft still liked him now, wouldn't we all be like, yeah, we were just waiting for this to happen? No, it's only compelling because people like me are brave enough to stand up and go, you know who I don't believe in anymore? The guy who won 14 games last year.
Yeah.
It's not putting my foot in my mouth. It's about bravery, Mike. I'm like Steve Buscemi on 9/11, you know?
There's definitely worse performances in the other game that you could have went with, but I'm trying to like not snap. And when we start talking about that game, I could.
I could tell you're trying not to snap because it does seem like you are quite subdued for this podcast. Are you sure that you're not drinking NyQuil?
I'm sure. Sorry.
You have the energy of a man who has very recently gotten out of a long stint in prison.
Are they subdued?
Wouldn't, you know? I mean,
I guess so. They come out and they're all like, "Oh,
yeah,
the world's so different." I was in jail for a month.
Outside of the guy from Good Times, I don't think they get out and immediately start hitting the methamphetamine.
Some of them do. Be surprised.
Is Benny Safdie actually deaf? That's my question.
I didn't know he was deaf.
Well, the character from Good Time is.
Oh, okay.
Or at least he has some kind of hearing aid in. You've seen Good Time, right?
I have. I don't remember a deaf guy. I don't remember Robert Pattinson's not deaf.
No, the other guy. Robert Pattinson's brother, Benny Safdie.
Oh, okay. He's deaf?
He has a hearing aid in. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if he's actually deaf.
I saw a movie a long time ago, so.
I watched it on an airplane on my phone. That review doesn't even mention Marissa Tomei's shoes, so I'm not going to read it. And actually, is like 600 words and thoughtful and considered instead of my dumbass Marvel reviews I've been doing. Mike, my worst performance. The interior Denver, offensive line. That's right. It's a white guy podcast talk about offensive lines.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're playing in the snow, and it's hard to get traction in the snow. But even before the snow, Denver could get no inside run game going. And I understand the strength of this Patriots defense is probably their interior defensive line, buoyed by Milton. Fuck, what's his name?
Williams?
Milton Williams, who they signed a couple years ago. But also, like, even on pass reps, all the pressure was coming from inside. It was coming from the left guard and the center. The center coming off of an injury. Denver center coming off of an injury. Not the greatest game. I haven't looked at the PFF scores or anything for this, but my guess would be that the lowest scoring players on the Denver offense were probably Jared Stidham and the left guard and center. You know, hitting the minimum snap threshold or what have you.
The left guard did okay. Ben Powers, not great, but okay. And yeah, Luke Wattenberg, the center, had a rough day. 54.1 offensive grade.
Yeah, and he was just coming off injury, to be fair. Mm-hmm. But real tough day for the interior offensive line. And also the right guard graded extremely poorly. Real tough day for the interior offensive line in Denver.
Yeah, and it tracked with the problem Denver's had for not being able to run the ball. And it was just like in the game where you have your backup QB in and who hasn't thrown a pass all year. And when you then are in a snowstorm, not being able to run the ball is like a death sentence. Like, what are you even going to do? Like, that was what you needed to do.
As big of a red flag as Jared Stidham being in the game was, there was also a big red flag that Denver was very dependent on hoping that J.K. Dobbins came back for this game.
Oh, so I was thinking the same thing the other day when I heard, when I at the beginning of the game, they mentioned like they were hoping to get J.K. Dobbins back. If they make the Super Bowl, he could be back, and that'd be big for this team. I was like, J.K. Dobbins? That would be really good. That's what this team is hoping for.
And like J.K. Dobbins is a good running back, but J.K. Dobbins should never be like the make or break thing for you to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's like if Seattle was like, we couldn't have made it if it wasn't for our fans in the stands cheering. It's like, okay, if the reason you made the Super Bowl was because you had fans in the stands, you should be a little concerned about your team chemistry when you go play on a neutral site.
Now here's a question. Could the Broncos took R.J. Harvey in the second or the third?
Yes.
Second round, selection 60. Okay. I'll have to go back and look and see what other running backs are still available so I can say that John Elway's a bad GM.
John Elway's not the GM anymore, but
that's right.
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt still on the board at that point?
Yeah.
Your boy, that dumb bowling pin out in New Jersey?
New Jersey.
Scatterbo?
Oh, Scatterbo. Oh, yeah, Scatterbo wouldn't have been stopped in this game. Remember Scatterbo in the snow?
Yeah, Scatterbo would have been stopped because he would have been knocked out of the season 7 weeks ago with 16 concussions. He's like if Gronk was dumber. I do not like Cam Scatterbo.
I know, I could tell.
Mike, what are one of your bonus awards? Not bonus awards, free space awards. There's no bonus awards. No free handouts in the Talent Alone universe. No one gets a free award just for showing up. We aren't your fucking rec league soccer ass ruining kids these days, handing out trophies to everyone, even though I could beat all of them at soccer.
Yeah, so one of my free space awards is
one day, someone is going to be listening to this podcast and get a very different opinion of the kind of person I am.
Yeah. This is the I wish the media would shut up about this moment award, and it goes to the Sean Payton's fourth down call.
I have an award for this too that I'll read you the title after we discuss this a little bit.
Yeah, because I think it is these moments in games, like when they don't go right, I hate it because I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
With the media circus being like, just take the points.
Yeah,
I get that.
And there's so many other like individual moments here that you could be like, oh, this is what caused the loss. Like, I don't know, Denver's interior offensive line playing terribly, no J.K. Dobbins, turning the ball over in your own red zone, allowing, I guess, one extra field goal, gain a field goal tipped at the line. Like, there's a lot of things you could point at that were like the one moment, but everyone's going to latch onto the 4th and 1 because all of you fucking degenerate conservative fucking boomer ass people at home see 4th down and you go, punt it. I don't care they're on the 13, punt it.
Yeah. I've been seeing the amount of, small aside, the amount of 4th down attempts going forward on 4th is obviously continuing to increase. And I feel like this season, I feel like I've started to see a sudden growth in people being like, just take the points. It drives me insane. And I know, like, when the game ends, right, and the Broncos lost by 3 points, it's easy to be like, well, that would have been 3 points.
Yeah.
The game tied. But that's not how, like, things work. Okay.
Can I insert something that is way too intelligent for this podcast into this podcast real quick?
Sure.
Amos Tversky and Danny Kahneman, 2 of the founding members of behavioral economics. They were these Israeli economists who kind of founded the principles behind behavioral economics. Outlined in Michael Lewis's book, The Undoing Effect, they eventually came up with this theorem called the Undoing Effect that showed that Israeli fighter pilots who died out on mission, people would undo the easiest variable and be like, they'd still be around if X hadn't happened. And it was always the simplest variable. And it's the same thing. Like, if someone dies in a car crash on the way home because they took a detour, people will say, oh, if they hadn't taken that detour, they wouldn't have died in that car crash because it's the easiest variable to undo. So we get to the end of this game, and everyone's just doing that. Everyone's just falling victim to the same, like, interior biases that gets pointed out by these behavioral economists in the early 2000s, where they're like, oh, well, this wouldn't have happened because of this one variable that we know 3 equals the amount they lost by. It's like, okay, yeah, but, like, also they would have won if Talanoa Hufanga hadn't dropped that pick.
Right.
But no one's going to talk about that because that doesn't immediately translate to 3 points.
Yeah. And it wasn't the bad call.
No.
It just didn't work. It was a bad play call, you could say.
It was a bad play
call,
but that's
yeah.
because every play call that involves Jared Stidham was probably a bad play call.
Yeah.
This is a great segue. Can I read you my award name for the same moment?
Yeah.
The Sean Payton Memorial Kicking an Onside Kick in the Super Bowl Award for the ballsy play that was the correct call despite the outcome.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's so easy to say. If they kick the field goal there and take the points, 10-10. We saw the final score, 10-10. But if they convert and score a touchdown, guess what? Then they win 14-10 if we're using the same rationale.
Right. That every second of that game would go the exact same.
Yeah.
As people are saying, if they kick the field goal, everything else would have happened the exact same.
Yeah.
From there on out, and it would have been tied. And also, like, I heard some people be like, you're in a game with your backup quarterback, just take the points. I can flip that and be like, hey, you're in a game with your backup quarterback. You are in the red zone. Go for it, pick up this first, and do everything in your power to get these points, because who knows how often you're going to get down this close to the end zone.
Right. And honestly, the only reason that New England was ever able to put up enough points on the board to win that game is because Jared Stidham did, like, a real bad backup quarterback move.
Yeah.
Which bridges me to my next award, and we can talk about these as a set afterwards. My next award, the Max Brosmer Memorial, big week for Memorial Awards for me. The Max Brosmer Memorial Worst Backwards Chest Pass of the Day Award.
Yeah.
It goes to Jared Stidham, who had the worst backwards chest pass of the day.
Yeah, he had a couple of chest pass in that game that he tried, and I didn't know why.
The crazy part is, so he has the backwards chest pass, where he's about to get sacked, which if he just gets sacked and they punt, Patriots probably never score a touchdown in that game.
No.
He has backwards chest pass, and then later in the game tries another chest pass, and he chest passes it to R.J. Harvey in a terrible pass that somehow went for positive yards. But imagine your quarterback does a backwards chest pass that leads to a turnover that leads to a touchdown, and then goes out there and does another chest pass.
I mean, you gotta respect the tenacity, you know? Never say die.
Yeah, that's the whole, like, I want a quarterback with a short memory. That guy's got a real short memory.
Super short memory.
Do you think, 15 minutes later, he looked up at the scoreboard and went, the Patriots tied us. When did that happen?
How'd that happen? Holy crap. I play for the Denver Broncos?
He's like a goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, do you want to hand out your other award, or do you have more thoughts on the the discourse around the field goal call.
No, I think Sean Payton made the right call. Like I said, if you want to nitpick it, you could say, I don't like that play call. That's it.
Yeah, I disagree with the play call because at that point we had already seen the interior offensive line for Denver was not holding up. And by the way, Sean, may I call you Sean? Big fan, rooted for you in your Super Bowl win. I'm rooting for you every game now as I come from a lineage of Broncos fans, by which I mean my dad and no one else. I want you to win. And I think that you need to know to win, when you have a backup quarterback who hasn't thrown a pass in a regular season game in 2 years, maybe stop calling late developing passing routes down the field. There were plays that you called where Stidham would drop back, hold the ball for 3.5, 4 seconds, and throw the ball just as Courtland Sutton cut. That means the play call was for him to hold onto the ball for 3 to 4 seconds and then throw it. Maybe get some quick game in there. Maybe get a few screens in there. Listen, Sean, I like you. I like your cheeks. It looks like you got tons of Copenhagen jammed in there. Just adjust your game plan when Bo Nix breaks his ankle, and maybe you'd be playing in the Super Bowl.
Funny thing is, I don't think he has any Copenhagen jammed in there.
That's just natural cheek.
Like that. I think he has natural cheek. He's got that chipmunk gene. Got that chipmunk in him.
How far back in his family was it that he comes from a chipmunk? Is he like a second generation chipmunk, or is it like 4 generations back?
He just has the cheeks, no tail, so it's at least 3rd generation.
At least 3rd generation chipmunk.
Yeah,
makes sense. Do you think he believes it's a jungle out there?
It's a jungle out there.
That was a terrible Randy Newman. Also, it wasn't Randy Newman. I don't know what. Yeah, it was. Wait, no, it wasn't.
Yeah. You got a friend in me.
There you go. I really confused myself because I said Randy Newman and thought of Paul Newman.
The guy who makes salad dressing?
How dare you? How dare you? I knew you were going to say that. How dare you call him the guy who makes salad dressing? Paul Newman is a goddamn American hero, just like Steve Buscemi in 9/11. Do I cut the whole Newman conversation or just some of it?
Yeah, I think we just keep talking about Paul Newman.
Okay. Welcome to the Newman cast. All Randy Newman and Paul Newman talk for the next 62 minutes. Mike, you have any other awards?
I got one more.
Okay. What's your last award?
This is the Making History Award.
Ooh.
It goes to Sam Darnold.
Uh-huh.
First USC quarterback to start a Super Bowl, as long as he doesn't slip in the shower in the next 2 weeks and hurt himself.
Well, they're playing the Patriots, so he's going to slip in the shower and he's going to take out JSN with him.
Yeah.
Is that true? First USC quarterback?
Yeah. To start in the Super Bowl.
Wow. Caleb Williams has still got a few weeks to beat him.
What?
Didn't Caleb Williams go to USC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb Williams can get in there, right?
Yeah,
I haven't checked the schedule. I think he still has a chance,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think so.
Mike, my final award. The Now Here's a Guy award for the announcer that inexplicably loved a player more than expected.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to Jim Nantz, who talked about the Broncos punter Jeremy Crawshaw like 6 times. Like every time Crawshaw was on the field, Jim Nantz was like, and here is the punter that could decide the game. He had the punt in overtime that really sealed the Bills' fate last week. It just knows how to nail the edge within the 10-yard line. And then Crawshaw would have a great punt, mind you. They would go out at the 8-yard line, and he'd be like, hey, he's done it again.
My God.
It's like seeing Ray Guy and Pat McAfee before he touched a microphone, all jammed into one person.
It's like watching Da Vinci paint the Mona Lisa in first person.
Jim Nantz talked about the Broncos punter like it was his own flesh and blood. Like, if I went to Jeremy Crawshaw's page right now, his Wikipedia page, and found out they changed his name after getting married to match his wife's name, but he was born Jeremy Nantz, that would not surprise me after the way Jim Nantz talked about this kid.
Yeah.
Was this not a notable thing anyone else was paying attention to? Was no one on the Jim Nantz keeps talking about this fucking punter beat?
It didn't stick out to me, but I will say that I felt like Romo was back on his bullshit yesterday.
He was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like legitimately bad. And to make it even worse, you know who was pretty good?
What?
Tom Brady was pretty good yesterday.
He was. The only thing that Tom Brady still does, he can be kind of cheesy sometimes. Like really corny. Like at one point,
I really thought you were going somewhere. You're like, the only thing that he does is he can be kind of cheesy sometimes.
No.
Anyways, back to you, KB.
At one point, he started singing the "Let's Get Physical" song.
Yeah.
I was like, what's happening right now? And then after Darnold's one touchdown, it was like an easy pass. It was like, Stafford saying, I want some easy ones. I was like, Brady, stop. What?
Here's what I gleaned from the Tom Brady broadcast of the Seattle Seahawks victory over the Los Angeles Rams. Tom Brady is hiring Clint Kubiak, even if it kills him, to be the head coach of the Raiders next year.
Think so?
Just during the broadcast, it was like Ken Walker with a 3-yard run to the outside. He's like, Clint Kubiak, he understands how to call football games. He understands the tempo, the progress, how you want to get into those advantageous positions, those third and shorts, those second and shorts. It's like, whoa, fucking calm down, Brady. Ken Walker gained 3 yards on first down. They're not suddenly in 2nd and 1.
Yeah. Here, I started laughing because I saw a tweet. It says, average Tom Brady commentary. As a QB, you're looking to see if your receiver has the extra step on the corner and cut back outside. You're dealing with fine margins, Kevin. Average Tony Romo commentary. You ever think about eating a football, Jim? I have. Some dude on Twitter named Mike Bialvas? I don't know. It got 4.3 million views. I really don't need to shout you out. You're doing fine, bud.
I mean, he didn't make any money on that. I don't know why you're like, you're doing fine. Yeah, that's all of our awards. Now we're going to go to a segment, Mike, that you pitched. You pitched a segment.
Mm-hmm.
That's called This Rules, This Sucks. Basically, for each of these games, we're going to go through and talk about them a little bit more in depth than we already have been. We're going to pick 2 things that ruled and 2 things that sucked from each game. Easy enough to follow?
Yeah, it would be tough to find something that ruled in that Patriots-Broncos game.
We'll start there because that's the early game. Obviously, as everyone knows at this point, Denver lost to New England, and it was purely because Sean Payton didn't go for a field goal.
That's it.
We'll start with the things that ruled about this game. Mike, you know what ruled about this game?
What ruled about this game?
Drake Scooter May. This guy's legs, Mike. Yeah, here's a kid. He gets out of the pocket and running. There's just no one that can stop him, Al.
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't throw the ball, so it's a good thing that he could.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to throw the ball for weeks, Mike.
Yeah.
He has
unless Stroud's giving him short field.
How many total touchdowns does the Patriots offense have since the start of the playoffs? Like 3?
No. Drake May has 4 touchdowns. Oh, he ran for the 1. You're right. I'm sorry.
So Drake May has 5 total touchdowns in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure Sam Darnold had 3 touchdowns alone against the Rams. Did he have 4?
He had 3.
He had 3. Anyways, Drake Scooter May getting out there on his legs. In this game, in this blizzard, he tied his passing yards on net and his rushing yards. He was as efficient. He was actually, in fact, more efficient as a runner than he was as a passer. But you know what? That was the fucking difference in this game, man. When no one could move the ball whatsoever, Drake May could. I saw your dog jump on your bed. I thought it was my cat. I'm used to when I see animals move. It's my cat. It really came down to the difference in this game was that Drake May could run and no one else could do anything at all.
Yeah. That was the only offense that came out of this game. Oh, and that one deep pass by Stidham. They had that.
Yeah. When we all believed for a second, Mike, that this 29-year-old career backup who hasn't thrown a pass in 2 years, maybe he could complete 3 passes.
Pull it off.
Anyways, Mike, what is something that ruled from this game?
You know what ruled from this game?
What's that?
Broncos defense did their job. Like, they did the best they could for Stidham not to have to do a lot. They tried so damn hard.
Oh, Stidham had to basically do nothing. The problem is that he did negative things.
Yeah. Like Pat Surtain in his bag.
Yeah, so that's my other thing that ruled.
One pass breakup. Oh, okay.
I have my other thing that ruled is Pat Surtain, who was just had one of the best coverage reps I've seen all year on like a broadcast angle, where he's just running down the sideline with Kayshon Boutte. As soon as like Drake May just heaves it down the sideline, Drake Scooter May, that is, heaves it down the sideline, and by the time the camera pans over to the target, Pat Surtain is still running step for step with Kayshon Boutte, like touching shoulders to him, with his head turned almost 90 degrees around watching the football. Just complete and total pass breakup. Can't call the DPI because he had his head turned towards the ball and just played it. I mean, it might be the best coverage rep you'll ever see. Like, I don't know how you play coverage better than Pat Surtain did on that play.
Yeah. Like, the Broncos defense took Drake May to the ground 6 times. They did everything they could, man.
Now, do you mean they sacked him? or like it was a field trip style thing. Like they took him to the ground.
they sacked him.
The ground would be a sick name for a museum. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you were saying, he has pass breakup. He's targeted 4 times, allows 8 total yards as the nearest defender, and according to PFF, top graded coverage player of the weekend.
God damn.
God damn that Pat Surtain. Mike, what's something that sucked from this game?
Where do we start? You know what sucks? When
What?
a snow game is ruined. Like, snow games are usually fun. I enjoy them, and this one just got so gross and ugly that you couldn't even enjoy it anymore.
Now, you're implying that there's good snow games.
In Buffalo, there is. That's about it, I guess.
Because for one of my things that sucked, I wrote down all snow games.
All snow games suck. And I knew you were going to say that. You're Mr. They should all be played inside of a basketball court or whatever.
All snow games suck. Snow games, like, weather should not affect the outcome of a conference championship game. And maybe this was the right outcome because they were playing Jared Stidham. And Jared Stidham, bad at football. But the snow turned this game from a regular football game into a game where we can literally argue about if a field goal in the first quarter changed the outcome of this game. Like, and this is all snow games, by the way, outside of the fact that Josh Allen's an alien and can throw a bullet through a steel wall if he wanted to.
He could have won that game.
But could he? Because he didn't win the last one against one of these teams.
He'd done better than Drake, 10 for 21 for 86 yards, man.
Drake Scooter May.
Drake Scooter May.
But every snow game makes football worse. Yeah, it's pretty on screen. Sure, it's a uniquely football thing. But it always makes the offense worse. And it doesn't make the defense better. Like, the defense isn't playing better because it's snowing. It simply makes the offenses incompetent, which makes the defenses look better by comparison. It makes the product worse 99.9% of the time.
I think the only thing about snow games I usually dislike is just, like,
how bad they are.
People and, like, the internet and, like, everything, everybody, like, even on the broadcast being like, "Oh my God, it's snow! Look at all the snow on the ground! Oh my God!" It's like, all right, it's not that, like, they constantly were like, picture of the first quarter, picture of fourth quarter. Whoa. I get it.
They had one segment
it wasn't
they did.
snowing, and then it started snowing. Is what you're telling
They had
me.
one segment they did where it was like, all right, someone need to get in the editing room on this. They were like, here's a picture of the first quarter. Here's a picture late in the first quarter. Here's a picture in the second quarter. Here's a picture early in the third quarter. Here's a picture late in the third quarter. Here's a picture of the start of the fourth quarter. Here's a picture now. And I'm like, okay, just show me the first quarter and now. Why are you showing me these 16 photos in the middle where it looks the same as the first quarter?
Right. Or from, like, the middle of the second quarter. Take, like, the entire game footage from, like, late in the second, right, when the weather was still, like, normal, and then just, like, do, like, the time lapse, like, super fast. That would be cooler than just being like, here's a picture, here's another picture, and look at this picture, here's another picture.
But seriously, it's time for all these games to go on in dome. There's a reason that we get weather delays in baseball. There's a reason hockey and basketball are played indoors, and it's because we don't want the weather to affect the outcome of these. We want to simply see the best possible result.
Do you not bring up hockey? You need to be played indoors. They play on fucking ice, all right?
Okay, but they play outdoor games, and 100% of the time, the outdoor games are worse.
Right? No, the outdoor games are cool, and you're full of lies. Now you're
just like snow. They look cool.
Evil.
They're bad games.
Right. You know what part of the reason why they're bad is because it's a pain in the ass to maintain the ice on those outdoor games unless you're playing in, like, fucking, like, 15-degree weather with no no sun.
How is this not the case I'm making for football? It's a pain in the ass to throw a football in a blizzard.
But I'm just saying that's not why NHL games are played inside.
Okay, it's part of a reason.
Oh,
they could play them outside, obviously.
That is, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, I approved your point on that one. Huh. Yeah. You're so wrong. You sound like Kurt Warner. He tweeted out, he was like,
if you ever call me someone who played for the CFL again, I will punch you in the teeth.
He did. He was like, trip to the Super Bowl decided by weather. Great. And I was like, shut up, Kurt. Go back to working at a grocery store wherever they found you.
Okay, if we're being honest, trip to the Super Bowl decided by the ankle integrity of Bo Nix. But
yeah,
weather should not affect the outcome of a football game. It's time to put all the games in the dome. It's a better product.
I don't think weather did affect this outcome.
It obviously did. No one could throw a pass in the second half. I get Drake May.
Oh, because they were all throwing passes so good in the first half.
I get Drake May isn't the fucking second coming of Josh Allen, but like he could complete a pass and he couldn't in the second half. And fucking Bill Simmons goes on his podcast. He's like, we didn't allow a score for the final 55 minutes. The defense is so good. It was a backup quarterback playing in the goddamn Siberian temperature, whatever, blizzard.
Right. The Broncos already couldn't run the ball. And then you go into the weather where all they're going to probably do is run the ball if they can. And the Patriots defense knows that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, get rid of the snow. Mike, another thing that sucked in this game. Christian Gonzalez? Not that great. So he's in coverage. He's in coverage on the Jared Stidham deep completion. He's also like kind of in coverage on the touchdown the next play, but that was a zone call. They might have misread how they were supposed to pass off the wide receiver who ends up catching the touchdown, Cortland Sutton. But I don't blame that one as much on Christian Gonzalez. But in general, Christian Gonzalez is kind of coasting by off his reputation. Last season, he's down from his rookie year when he did get injured early in his rookie year, so it was a lower sample size. And then this season, he was worse than last season. Like he's steadily been on the decline, but he's still getting credit off of his name. I'm not saying it's fully there, Mike, but I'm considering putting him in the Mike Regan talent alone Sauce Gardner corner.
Yeah, I don't get it. He had the one pick, but I think I could have probably picked that one off.
Yeah, I mean, there was from the time Jared Stidham released that ball, there was a like non-zero chance that one of us got up off our couch and started running. We could have caught that.
We could have got there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was all him. I don't know if it kind of got floated up because of the wind. It was probably mostly Jarrett Stidham though. That was an ugly interception.
Yeah, I was surprised by the time that they panned down to the defensive backs that it wasn't the entire Patriots defense holding hands and singing the song from the end of The Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Dahu for
What's the name of that song?
It's called Dahu Foray, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. But I'm just saying, Mike. Christian Gonzalez on Sauce Gardner watch.
I in general don't think this Patriots defense is anything to write home about.
They have a good front four. I guess not even a good front four. They have a good front two.
Right.
And the rest of it's like good enough, but yeah, I ranked them in the bottom 3 defenses when we ranked defenses going into the divisional round, and I stand by that. I still think they're a bad defensive unit. Like they're especially like Super Bowl wise, this has got to be one of the worst defensive units to make a Super Bowl in the last 20 years, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we could find another one.
Like I'm willing to bet their cornerback 1 this year is Carlton Davis III.
Yeah.
You want to show me a defense that's got a worse CB1 than Carlton Davis?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
Yeah, that's because there isn't one, Mike.
29-year-old Carlton Davis.
In the prime of his life, Mike.
The prime of his life.
Mike, what else from this game sucked?
This isn't from this game, but it's because of this game. You know what sucks is that the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. Just in general. What a fucking joke this AFC has been.
You're saying what a fucking joke. Mike, you know that they're in most Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, but this Patriots team being in the Super Bowl is ridiculous. Like, all year long, it was like, it's fine. I was cool with it. One of the easiest schedules like the last 20 years. Wins the division, number 2, fine, whatever. But now they're in the Super Bowl, and it's like this. Someone needs to step in and stop this. As anybody, They get super easy schedule. They get home field against a Chargers team that has injuries and Justin Herbert, who's never played a good quarter of football in the playoffs.
And was injured. He had a fractured left hand for the second half of the season.
And was injured. Then they host the Texans, who, like, their offense is just like so inept, and CJ Stroud just decides to start like handing the ball to the defensive backs of New England. And then they get Jarrett Stidham with a second half in a blizzard.
It's I mean, like, if we're going to talk ourselves into what the Patriots can do to stay competitive against Seattle in the Super Bowl, which I want to say before we get to any Super Bowl stuff. Far and away, with my whole chest, I am saying this Seattle team, in a normal year with normal contenders, is still a worthy Super Bowl team. It is a very well-constructed team. And we all get Sam Darnold blindness, which typically ends in an interception. But we all get Sam Darnold blindness because we see the name. But if you just look at the raw numbers of what Sam Darnold has done this year and what this team has done this year and how good this defense is, and they have a very good offensive line, including a great rookie in Gray Zabel. They have a very good defensive room, including Nick Manwari, another rookie, great defensive backs, Regal and Devon Witherspoon, and a great front seven. They are a very worthy Super Bowl team. And we're going to talk ourselves into how the Patriots can stay competitive because we have 2 weeks to consume this Super Bowl before we get there.
Yeah.
But if this game ends up with Seattle winning, like 41-7, we all just kind of have to be like, it's dead dove, do not eat. We're all going to look in the bag and be like, well, I don't know what I expected.
Yeah. And now, I will say, full transparency, and hey, I mean, you don't decide your schedule, and you still have to execute those games against it. So I get it. And also, if it was the Bills who got like the super easy draw, sometimes there's just bracket luck, like the Bills and Jags end up playing, so one of them's getting knocked out right off the bat, and then you avoid the Bills because of the chicanery that happened in Denver. And if it was me and the Bills just won a game 10-7 against a backup quarterback in a blizzard where my QB didn't even throw for 100 yards, do you think I'd give a shit? I'd be like, no, we're going to the Super Bowl. I don't care. Exactly. So I'm not trying to take the piss out of all the Patriots fans who are all happy, but it's just it's like a little in the moment. It's just like so frustrating to be like, come on, like this is really how it all turned out. 18 weeks of football, 3 weeks of the playoffs.
Yeah, and they have to win one more, right? But if they win one more, it is the clearest example of they don't ask how, they ask how many. Like, if the Patriots win one more, they had to win one game against a legit Super Bowl contender this year, and that's Seattle Seahawks. And if they win that one game, no one's ever going to bring up the schedule again. Maybe for like the next 3 or 4 years, people will mention it in passing. But guess what? Banners fly forever and narratives don't. So if the Patriots win one more, doesn't matter how easy their schedule was. I say all that to say, this team is so fraudulent. They have had such an easy schedule. And it's bullshit, man. Because you and I have waited like fucking 33 and 30 years apiece to watch one of our teams win one championship. And fucking Patriots fans got to watch their team win 18 billion championships over the course of 20 years. And then they were like, oh, it's really hard being a Patriots fan for these 4 years. And then they're back in the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah. People have pointed
out,
they had to
deal with one bad quarterback. One! You know how many fucking bad quarterbacks I had to deal with as a Commanders fan?
No, they did too. They had to deal with that Cam Newton year.
No one remembers that. That didn't actually happen.
That's true. That was a fever dream. No, I agree. If everybody's pointing out that like 9 of the last 10 AFC champs have been the Patriots or Chiefs, and there's just like that one weird Bengals season in the middle.
Hey. Which they only got to the Super Bowl because they attempted murder on a field.
Yeah, exactly. It's disgusting. And sure, we could play the game where you go through their schedule and you name all the quarterbacks they faced, and it's like, wow. We can bring Drake May's MVP that he might possibly win in a conversation, and it adds to the frustrations when you think like he's the favorite to win MVP, and then after what we saw in that game, you go over to the Rams game where Matt Stafford is just playing his fucking ass off, just dropping dimes, throwing lasers. Like Sam Darnold looked more deserving of an MVP this playoffs than Drake May did.
I mean, like, if you just looked at the playoffs, you didn't watch a single snap of regular season. How many playoff quarterbacks would you like? Where would you take Drake May? Like if all you watched was every snap of the playoffs, you take Drake May like 6th.
If you only watch the playoffs, you'd be like, I think I might take Bryce Young over that Drake May kid.
Yeah, you would definitely take if you just watch the playoffs, you definitely take Darnold, Stafford, Allen over Drake May. Now then the question becomes like, Trevor Lawrence and Bryce Young got a pretty good case in these playoffs to be a better quarterback than Drake May.
It's just they're I've been saying it all season, and they're the epitome of bitch made. They'll be the most bitch made Super Bowl champ of all time.
We need to like get a whiteboard going next year that we just keep track of the teams that you label bitch made.
I mean, the Patriots are the bitches of all bitch mates.
Okay, but if they win the Super Bowl, you can't be bitch made and Super Bowl champion. They don't exist in the same
That's
universe.
true. So they're the most bitch made AFC champion.
Yeah. Now we have to go back through all the AFC champions and decide which ones are bitch made. Anyways, let's move on to the Rams-Seattle game, a much superior game. And do you want to know why it was a better game, Mike?
Because
No
Tony
snow.
Romo was on the call. I agree.
No snow. There was no snow. Also, Tony Romo wasn't on the call in this game.
I meant to say Tom Brady. I got my T's mixed up.
You got your late round quarterbacks mixed up?
Yeah.
Mike, you know something that ruled from this game?
What?
Fucking Nick Amendola.
Oh, yeah,
Just-
dude.
Joker safety. Here's his alignment from this game. You ready? 11 snaps on the defensive line, 17 in the box, 25 from the slot, 5 as an outside corner, 0 as a safety.
He's supposed to
Nick
be.
Amendola rules. He rules, man. This guy rules. He had 2 pass breakups in this game too. One of which was just like Brandon Ingram stretchy arm pass breakup, where he was just like, "Oh, if you throw it anywhere within 6 feet of this player, I can break up that pass." Like, fuck me, man. Just give me more Nick Amendola. That guy's a guy. I fucking love Nick Amendola.
Yeah, he was really.
Give him Carson Schweisinger's award. The fucking Browns won 3 games. Do not give anyone on that team an award. Give Defensive Rookie of the Year to Nick Amendola, who's playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he might be I think he's the only defensive back on the Seahawks that didn't get burned at one point. Like Devon Witherspoon had a tough day.
Yeah, Witherspoon had a tough day. Tariq Woolen had a pretty good day, but then had the taunting penalty. Okay, can we litigate this taunting penalty real quick? Do you have this anywhere on the list, or can we litigate it right now?
Let's litigate it. Taunting penalties are
Okay.
stupid.
Here's my thing about it. Taunting, cool. Very cool. Love some taunting. Here's where he fucked up. And when he got the flag thrown, he stepped over the sideline into the Rams' side of the field.
Oh.
Listen. Taunt all you want. Stay on the field, man.
Yeah.
It's
also
like
looked
R.J.
one
Harvey
ref
got a
pushed him
flag for
away.
being the. I don't know. I didn't see the ref push him
Oh.
away. He might have, but I was,
No, I
watching
was just saying,
on my
like,
phone on
it
train.
looked like the ref said, like, all right, cut it out, and then he kept going.
Yeah, it could be that too.
Yeah.
But like it feels like the unwritten rule. It's like R.J. Harvey got a flag for illegal touching, which is a very funny name for a penalty, because he stepped out of bounds and then Jared Stidham threw an uncatchable ball that R.J. Harvey like fell out of bounds and was the first player to touch after re-entering the field to play after stepping out of bounds. And so he got illegal touching. It was not a completion. It did not matter because it was just a loss of down from the spot of the original play, and it was already an incompletion, so who cares? But it was like, okay, if you stepped out of bounds, just don't touch the ball. Opposite rule for Tariq Woolen on this one. Taunt all you want, just don't step onto the Rams sideline. At that point, it's aggressive.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing football is not about, it's not about aggression, Mike. It is not an aggressive sport.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. And it's even worse because Tariq, dude, you can't get called for taunting in the very next play. You get roasted by Puka.
Yeah.
For a touchdown.
Yeah.
That
That is really the problem.
1
Like,
minute of time for him.
And that taunting penalty was right after a play where he had a pass breakup that should have been a pick.
Yeah.
Like, if you got in the pick and then the taunting penalty, okay, dumb move. Coaches are going to be pissed at you, but it's 15-yard loss. Your team has the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you get the taunting penalty and the next play you have a pass breakup, okay, you know what? Bounce back. But he gets the pass breakup. He taunts, and the Puka Nacua goes, yeah, what if I just remind you that I'm the best or second best wide receiver in the league?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that play too, where even Brady roasted him. Like before the taunting, he made the joke where he was like, because it should have been picked, and Brady made the joke where he was like, yeah, but cornerbacks just wanted to play receiver but can't catch. I was like, God damn, what do you do?
Brady was in his bag on that one.
He was in his bag.
Mike, what's something that ruled in this game?
You know what rules?
What?
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Jack Smith and Jigba rules. This play is why you texted me to do this segment, by the way, for those of you at home.
That one-handed catch was unreal. It wasn't even like sometimes guys that kind of like cradle the ball with one hand and they can pull it in and like get possession. No, he had like fingers clenched like that. Like he didn't even need to bring it in. He just got it. It was beautiful. It did not matter who. He was catching balls. So just a quick breakdown. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different players he got matched up against in coverage. He caught balls against them. against all of them. Only Quentin Lake and Nate Landman, who he was targeted on twice, were able to get his 2 incompletions because he had 12 catches or 10 catches on his 12 targets.
The immortal
He's roasting
Nate
everybody.
Landman.
Immortal
White
Nate
linebacker
Landman.
playing coverage against Jackson Smith and
Yeah.
Jigba.
That was the thing that was interesting. I was looking at this and I was, that's why I was kind of looking at this to see like the breakup of who they had on him, but that didn't even matter. The breakup of who they had covering him because it wasn't going to matter.
No.
Like if this dude's not offensive player of the year, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
If he's not,
also,
but Puka Nacua is, then I'm willing to bite the bullet on that. Those are the 2 best receivers in the league this year.
Oh, hands down. And also, quick aside, these AP NFL awards need to stop. They're stupid. They're fraudulent.
Why?
Because explain this to me. So there's the MVP award, right?
Uh-huh.
The 5 finalists, whoever it was, and then there is the Offensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah.
Only one of the quarterbacks, one of the people who were up for MVP, got also included in the Offensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah.
It was
by
Drake
the way,
May.
it's funny because the Offensive Player of the Year, Drake May gets included in. The MVP, Drake May is also included in. Drake May now no longer the favorite for MVP. Matt Stafford is, because Matt Stafford was first team All-Pro, which means for Offensive Player of the Year, they have included now the second most likely person to win MVP and not the most likely person to win MVP.
Right. And so I'm seeing that, and then, like my brain stops buffering and it clicks. I'm like, the guy who led the league in rushing yards isn't up for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
James Cook got left out, but they randomly grabbed one of the people up for MVP, and they're like, "Yeah, you could be Offensive Player of the Year too." QB shouldn't be allowed in that award.
I think, QB should not be allowed in that award. I think that there's what's going to happen this year because there was such a weird MVP year. I think Stafford wins the MVP, Drake May wins Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith and Jigba gets absolutely no respect.
There's a good chance that happens. They'll be wrong.
And if that happens, Talent Alone will change all of their logos to a black square to protest this. That'll get them to overturn it, right? That works on everything. Every time that people on Twitter just do something, that gets things overturned, right?
Take their profile picture, just a black square.
Mike, while we're talking about things that ruled, can I tell you, or about wide receivers that ruled, can I tell you about a wide receiver that ruled?
Yes.
Supposedly injured Devontae Adams?
Oh my God, dude.
Devontae Adams, questionable, plain hamstring injury. Ugh. In the divisional round. Ugh. Doesn't look very fast with that hamstring injury. This week, once again, injury reports, questionable, hamstring injury, ends up playing the game, 4 targets, 89 yards, 1 touchdown, basically catches 2 of the 3 most important catches of the Rams game, has a touchdown, and then has a 35-yard bomb that he catches to set up their next touchdown.
He took some shots, too, and hung on to the ball.
Hits, brother.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is fucking sick. He's also, not a lot of people know this, he's 61 years old.
Really?
Yeah. 61 years old.
Wow.
He's as old as 2 Sean McVays. With one hamstring that's torn completely off of his leg. 4 targets,
40.
89 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah. He led the league in touchdowns. And he didn't play the last 3 weeks. It's pretty wild.
Injured Devontae Adams is such a beast.
Yeah, he's part of the reason why Devon Witherspoon had a tough day, because both of the catches where Devon was on him, one was a 30-plus yarder, the other was like 22 yards, something like that. 23. So.
Yeah, and I think I don't know who they had him on that touchdown, but just another time where it was like, hey, you know who's a really good quarterback is Matt Stafford, and a really good wide receiver, that guy who was the best wide receiver in the league for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are both pretty good at what they do.
Yeah.
Also, I was about to shout something out, but give me your other thing that ruled before. Oh, wait. Was that both your things that ruled? Or was that... No, you have one more.
Yeah, I said Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Oh, you just said Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Did rule. Yeah. You know what else rules?
Yeah.
Jake Bobo. But more specifically, I guess I'd say this. What rules is obscure fan favorite players catching playoff touchdowns. That's what rules.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because that place came. I mean, they were going nuts all day, but they really came to life for that Bobo tutty.
Jake Bobo, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he had like an embarrassingly low amount of catches this year.
Oh yeah, he was.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But do you want to relitigate the touchdown itself, because it's not like he just caught an open pass in the touchdown.
No, it was a good catch.
Motherfucker had to fight through traffic.
Yeah, and got it. That was a nice pass. It was two of Darnold's touchdown passes were like him falling backwards and just putting it on the money. I was like, God damn, where's this Darnold been?
So okay, that's not the thing I want. Can I throw out a take that I have nothing to back up, but I just want to I want to float this out to you as a take, and then we'll see if research backs it up. Is Jake Bobo the best that touchdown yet? Is that the best playoff touchdown by an NFL player whose name you could mistake for the name of a monkey in a circus act?
Yes.
Is that the best touchdown that a NFL player whose nameplate could exist on a monkey's cage in a circus act has ever had?
I think so.
Jake Bobo, Mike, I'll give you an over-under for receptions this year. Over-under 12.5 receptions.
Like a slight over, like 14.
4. He had 4 receptions, including his touchdown yesterday. That was one of his 4 receptions this year.
Impressive.
He almost doubled his targets yesterday. He went from 3 targets to 5 on the year.
He plays when it matters. All right.
Jake Bobo always showing up the second that it matters most. So yeah, congrats to Jake Bobo on his first touchdown of the year. It was fucking sick. As just piggyback off that, you know what ruled in this game? White wide receivers.
Oh yeah, big day.
Big day for the whites, Mike.
Yeah, I can't believe neither of us said, you know what rules? Revenge games.
Yeah. Did anyone else have a revenge game outside of Cooper Kupp? I'm a big revenge game guy. Was there any other revenge games outside of Cooper Kupp?
I mean, that was the only one that was notable. Yeah.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp, 4 receptions, 36 yards, and a touchdown. Mike, over under Cooper Kupp this year, 12.5 receptions.
Over.
56.
Also, you know what else? Last things are because only we're supposed to do. You know those rules?
What?
Playoff, like interdivisional playoff rubber matches, like where you get the third part of the trilogy.
I think that if I can add an addendum to your thing that ruled there, interdivisional playoff rematches when both teams are good. Like I think oftentimes you get that rubber match when it's like a wild card 7 seed against a second seed division winner, and it's just a bloodbath because like even if they split the regular season series, it's usually something weird happening. I mean, great example, Washington last year in the conference championship against Philly, they split that season series because in their second game against the Eagles, or first game against the Eagles, Jalen Hurts gets a concussion in the first quarter. He's out for the game. Washington wins.
Yeah.
This game ruled because these teams fucking hate each other, as shown by the Reek Woolen taunting penalty when he would not stop taunting the sideline. And Sean McVay losing his fucking mind after the failed 4th down conversion. Like, Sean McVay wanted to win this game more than he wanted to have that wife swap with Matt Stafford and Cancun when they met there.
I saw someone who said, go for the points. Just take the points when they were down 27-31. Like, do you not know math?
Well, you see, Mike, okay, if I can explain the math to you, because I understand you're a simpleton and very dumb.
Right.
If you kick the field goal there, and then they kick a field goal back, you're only down by 4 points.
Once again. It's also like, get a stop, get the ball back. Okay, well, after that, they got stopped on downs. The Seahawks continued to burn 5.5 minutes and leave them with like 30 seconds left. So I don't think they were going to get that field goal anyway.
Mike, can I give you something that sucked from this game?
Yeah.
The defensive holding call that gifted Seattle a nearly game-sealing first down.
Yeah.
Basically, the reason that the Rams had no time left, you and I texted about this, defensive holding call on the immortal Emmanuel Forbes on a 3rd down stop gives Seattle a free first down for them to burn down clock. Listen, it was the right call. Forbes hooks him.
Oh, that was Kobe Durant, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, Kobe Durant.
Yeah.
It was on Kobe Durant. Kobe Durant hooks him. For sure. He was for sure a slight hold. It was a soft hold, but it was a hold by the letter of the law. But listen, man, it's the conference championship. You got to just let that one go. It didn't affect the play.
Yeah.
Still, receiver ends up a step ahead of Durant, and the pass doesn't even go his way. You got to just let that one go, man. You got to keep the flag in the pocket on that one. That's a conference championship deciding flag you threw.
Or in general, I don't understand why defensive holding is an automatic first down.
I guess the case would be if you hadn't held, it could have been for many more yards. It could have potentially been a first down on its own.
Right.
And if it's 3rd and 15, why not just hold then?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. You heard it from Mike first.
I
Mike
take
wants
that
people to
trade-off.
cheat. He wants to
Yeah.
cheat.
Yeah.
Mike, what's something else that sucked from this game?
Not a lot sucks from this game. I don't know if I want to pick on him again, but I had the Rams defense written down.
You have been so down on the Rams defense, and Chris Shula is going to be the Bills' next head coach. So
He's not. He's not.
You see Phillip Rivers pulled his name from consideration?
Yeah, it's probably a smart move.
Because he wasn't going to get picked, or?
They just didn't want to be picked. And I had like a real fear that he might. It's just it's what that defense is what tanked this season for them.
Yeah,
down
the
the
offense was
stretch.
sick.
Yeah, they just fell apart. I mean, you look at like, who was it? Someone pointed out like Stafford's numbers in these like last 2 Seattle games where they lost, and he just went nuclear. He had 457 in that game that the Seahawks came back and won, and then he had 374 there, threw 6 touchdowns, just doing everything he could. I mean, you want to talk about some of that rules, just Matt Stafford in general. I don't know if he's playing another year. I think he will, but yeah, defense just can't get off the field. Even when the Seahawks punted, they had to at least give up 1 first down. So let them bleed more clock.
Yeah, how many actual 3 and outs were in this game?
It can't be too many. I mean, the second half, like that third quarter especially, I don't know how much works the punters were doing. The Seahawks had punt once.
Yeah, the Seahawks had 1 3 and out. They had 1 3 and out all game. Mm-hmm. Mike, if you look at the first 10 weeks of the season, the Rams were 2nd in defensive EPA per play allowed, behind only the Houston Texans and ahead of the Denver Broncos. However, if you update that from week 11 on, so week 11 through the conference championship, they fall all the way down to 16th.
Not good, Jim.
Not good, Jim. And that guy, the guy who is behind their precipitous fall down the standings, is going to be the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
He is not, but he could be a head coach somewhere. He keeps getting interviews. I said when we were talking about like head coach candidates do like that draft or whatever. And I mentioned it there. I was like, I'm out on Chris Shula.
Mike, if you go from week 13 on,
mm-hmm.
they had a bottom 12 defense. They allowed positive EPA per play.
Yeah. My guy, like Byron Young was like non-existent yesterday.
Yeah, it tough end of the year defense for the Rams. We did a segment a few weeks back, peaking at the right time, peaking at the wrong time. The Rams defense definitely peaked at the wrong time.
You know, and I guess it makes me snap because I'm like, or I keep hampering on it because like I've watched poor playoff defensive performances cost good quarterbacks and good offenses games. So, you know, frustrating.
It is frustrating. Can I give you my other thing that sucked from this game, Mike?
I think you froze.
Nope, didn't freeze. I was just waiting for you to say sure.
I said yeah.
I don't think you did.
Okay.
We'll see in the edit. We'll see. Mike, you know what sucked in this game? One of these 2 quarterbacks doesn't get to play in the Super Bowl. That's what really sucked in this game.
Yeah, they should have. After the Broncos Patriots game went the way it did, they should have been like, oh, quick change. This game is actually for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Especially because now, any second now, Sam Darnold's going to get hit by a bus or be on the Epstein list, and he's not going to play in the Super Bowl. It's going to turn out that Jack Smith and Jigba, Devon Weatherspoon, Nick Manwaria, and Sam Darnold all get trapped in 4 Chinese finger traps, standing in like a cube, and they're just stuck there for the rest of their lives. They can't get out, can't play the game.
That's
Mike,
a common thing to happen. Who hasn't it happened to?
I'm going to give you 2 stat lines.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 2 stat lines. Quarterback 1, 25 for 36, 346 total yards, 3 touchdowns, and I'll save the last thing. So 25 for 36, 346, 3 touchdowns. The other quarterback, 25 for 36, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns. Which one of those quarterbacks was Sam Darnold? Which one was Matt Stafford?
Darnold had the 3 touchdowns.
They both had 3 touchdowns. The answer is...
No, but Darnold was the lower of the 2 yardages. He was 346.
He was 346. The answer is it doesn't matter because they both played almost the same game. Darnold took 3 sacks for 25 yards. That's the difference between these two quarterbacks' output.
Yeah.
Matty Staffs, 1 sack for 9 yards. Also, Matty Staffs crushed his over in rushing yards.
Greatest run of his
16.
career.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Would not be denied.
I remember in Noodle Arm Peyton Manning's year, he had a run in the AFC Championship game where Sports Science afterwards were like, Peyton Manning reached 21 miles per hour. I'm like, Peyton Manning can't fall from a skyscraper at 21 miles per hour. There's no fucking way.
I remember that play.
Matt Stafford got going like he was Braun Strowman running outside the ring. Like that guy was like, I'm fucking going through you.
Maybe that run was like 20 miles per 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can't say per hour.
But those two guys played such similar games and just excellent games. I mean, nearly fucking flawless. Like, both of them had 9 incompletions. Both of them threw for 3 touchdowns and didn't turn over the ball a single time.
Yeah.
That is outrageous. That is like A+++ level football. I mean, this is, as I have now anointed him, Saint Darnold. This is Saint Darnold exercising his demons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He ain't seeing ghosts out there, Mike. You want to know why? Because he's busted them. He got out there with that little zapper thing that if you make the tips touch, you're gay, and so you can't do it. I don't remember the plot of Ghostbusters very well. I remember that Sigourney Weaver and what's-his-face are supposed to have sex, I think, or maybe do have sex. Maybe. You know, the Canadian guy got punched in the back of the head in New York. He was in...
Yeah, Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis, thank you.
He shrunk his kids.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go next. They were supposed to have sex or did have sex or something. I can't remember now. But anyways, what was I talking about? Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold busted his ghosts. He was the guy you're going to call. Exercise his demons, even though they turned their head all the way around and were a child with like a sharpened cross, I think, at one point in that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk on ESPN, like, Darnold silenced the doubters. And I was like, no, you never silence the doubters. They may get a little quiet for a while, but the second you have a bad game or throw a bad pass, they all come back. Like, Josh won an MVP, and even whenever he plays, like, whenever the Bills lose, there's like, Josh Allen, man, he's the worst quarterback in the world. Like, doubters are never silenced, by the way.
Can I ask you this as a Matty Staffs question?
Yeah.
If Matty Staffs wins MVP this year and retires, so he has 1 Super Bowl, 1 MVP, retires at whatever he is, 36. Hall of Famer? First ballot?
First ballot, I don't know. Maybe. His numbers
are
up there.
For years and years and years, he was a top, 3 quarterback in the league for a long time, just playing on a dog shit team.
Yeah, I feel like it varied, but definitely top 5 consistently.
Yeah. Is that good enough? First ballot Hall of Fame? Like,
I think
Eli
he's the
Manning
best quarterback in the league this year?
Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer, period?
Yeah.
2 Super Bowls. Had the Iron Man streak, had the longest start streak in NFL history for a while. Or at least active.
We like to pick on Eli because he's like the derpy younger brother of Peyton. And yeah, he had some years, especially towards the end, like he had some years that were not great. But Eli Manning was actually a really good quarterback. People, we need to stop the narrative of like Eli. Like, sometimes people talk about Eli Manning like he's Joe Flacco.
He kind of is.
No, he's not.
He kind of is.
That's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous display right there. That's ludicrous.
Mike, what's your other thing that sucked from this game?
You know what really sucks? PTSD. Which this game gave me at one point.
Why?
Because the NFL just makes up rules willy-nilly and decides to call them however they feel like it in that second. And I don't know how that was a completed catch by Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha. I was thinking you were going to go with the Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
I was like, well, he wasn't out of bounds, so I know what to tell you.
No, not that one. Late in that game, Kupp catches the one pass kind of coming across. Defender kind of wraps him up. Kupp goes to the ground, hits the ground, and ball comes out. Like, the second he hits the ground, the ball comes out. But they said that, like, nope, he was down.
Yep.
Okay, but when Brandon Cooks had the ball, came down, touched the ground, he didn't complete the catch. until the defender rolled over him and yanked the ball out of his arms. The play was still. It made no sense to me.
Here's the thing that confused me about that play in particular. The ground caused, like, he did not survive contact with the ground. I understand the ball didn't touch the ground, but his back did, and it jarred the ball loose. So he did not, like, the catch did not survive contact with the ground. Not the ball's contact with the ground, but his body's contact with the ground. Now, if he had landed the other way, with the ball tucked in, and his arm had hit the ground, and the ball had popped out, would that have been an incompletion? Because I feel like it would have been.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just there's willy-nilly about, like, what does surviving the catch mean? What does this be? Like, they're so, yeah, and, like, when they decide to be like, no, he was down, the play was over, compared to, like, no, it actually wasn't over there. Like, it's just, it's the NFL stuff, and it's just, like, I tried not to, like, that play happened, and I went, don't, Michael. Don't get upset. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. So the whole time I was like, wait a minute. That was a catch. But yeah.
All right, Mike. Well, you know what? How would you rate this overall? This conference championship weekend. How would you rate it?
Like Rams.
No,
Seahawks,
just gotta give me. You gotta give me the weekend, not breaking it down by game. Just give me an overall rating. Give me like a letter grade.
School. So I think I'd say a B, because I think in school if you got like an A and then an F, that probably average out to like a C. I'll say a C.
Yeah, but I feel like they would grade on a curve, so I feel like B's correct. Like I feel like we're gonna remember, like in 3 years, we're gonna remember the Rams Seahawks conference championship game. We will not remember this Broncos Patriots conference championship game.
Or if we do remember it, we'll be like, hey, remember that dog shit Broncos Patriots conference championship in the snow? That's what we'll probably say.
I'll go. You mean the one where Peyton Manning ran 22 miles per hour?
Fastest man alive, they say.
Mike, let's do some quick, way too early Super Bowl picks here. Spread in the game opened at, I don't know, I'm going to say it opened at 12.5, but it's come all the way down to 4.5. What a crazy precipitous drop.
Wow.
That's not true at all. But anyways, Seattle currently a 4.5 point favorite. Minus 225 on the money line, over under 45.5. Let's just get our picks in now. That way we're on the record, and we can do all the research in the world over the next 2 weeks and change our picks however we want. But right now, just on paper, I want to know: you taking Seattle minus 4.5, or you getting the points and taking the Patriots?
Seattle minus 4.5.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. This line's close because it's a Super Bowl and they know that they can get suckers to bet on the Patriots. I do not expect this game to be close early on. We'll see how my opinions on that develop. I understand Vrabel's a good coach. I understand that Josh McDaniels
can we stop?
Stopped hammering slices. Come on, man. You got to at least give it to him. He got
no.
Look what happened.
No, Vrabel,
look what happened. Okay, go ahead.
Vrabel's a good coach. I said it. I was like, I don't really think Tennessee should have cut him loose. And then when Patriots hired him, I was like, that's a good hire. But it's gotten so like over the top now. Like you would thought that Mike Vrabel cured polio, invented penicillin, brought the troops home.
I will simply say
war
this.
in Afghanistan, took out Osama bin Laden, got a peace treaty in the Middle East. Like, come on.
I will simply say this. Dan Quinn and Mike Vrabel have nearly identical career achievements now. Both of them have made a Super Bowl and made a conference championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And we all think Dan Quinn sucks. So
it's just the I get your point. It's an interesting argument you have there. Yeah. But it's just jumped the shark with Vrabel for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, both of us are on Seattle minus 4.5. We'll see how that evolves over the coming weeks. On Wednesday, we're talking mainly college. We'll do a little bit of Super Bowl preview, but then next week's going to be our big Super Bowl preview week. So we'll see how our opinion evolves. But right now, we're both on the record, taking Seattle minus 4.5. Hell, Mike, I'll even go as far to take Seattle minus 5.5.
Take it minus 6.5.
Yeah, this fucking guy trying to one up me, are you?
Yeah.
6.5's a bridge too far for me, Mike. I can't imagine this game comes down to 2 field goals. We got some coaching hires, so we got to talk about here, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a quick thumbs up, thumbs down on each of these, and if we have anything extra we got to say here, we'll talk about it. The Miami Dolphins do exactly what we all thought they did, and after it didn't work on offense, let's go with the defensive hire. They hired Jesse Minter to be their new head coach. Jesse Minter of the podcast fame.
Really?
Mike, thumbs up, thumbs down. What's up?
Cautious thumbs up.
I am going to go Joaquin Phoenix thumbs down.
Wow.
The Chargers defense was not that great. And we'll see, right?
Up and down is how I describe the Chargers defense this year.
Yeah. We'll see, obviously. But the Chargers defense was not super inspiring to me. and you went with the young hire, which I always love. Jeff Hafley, another guy that was the young hire. By the way, did I say Jesse Minter got hired in Miami? I meant Baltimore.
Miami. That's not right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how much of this hiring is because they let Mike Macdonald walk? Now they're like, fuck, we should have just fired Harbaugh and promoted Mike Macdonald. All right, get a young defensive guy in here.
Yeah. They were like, wait, Minter also was the DC at Michigan for 1 year?
Yeah.
Take it. Or no, 2 years, 3 years, something like that.
No
Won a natty.
It's
got that
college.
hardware. Unlike McDonald. McDonald is 1 year at Michigan. He didn't get no hardware. Minter's got them rings.
For some reason, I thought McDonald was at Washington. Was he Michigan? Okay.
Yeah, now you're making me think I was wrong.
I believe that you're right, Mike. You're a right guy. You're often right about things. I think I'm thinking that because he brought in what's his face last year from Washington.
Yeah.
That's why
Ryan Grubb, the OC.
Ryan
yeah.
Grubb. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking that. Mike, the other big hiring of the week, Mike McCarthy returns from the grave for his third head coaching job to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Yeah. Come on, guys. What are we doing?
I don't.
People are like, no, he's gets the same record as John Harbaugh and knew what he's talking about. Oh, yeah. John Harbaugh got fired this year, so A, terrible example. B, like,
Right.
what? Show me what the fuck Mike McCarthy's done without Aaron Rodgers.
Is that why they did it? They're trying to get Rodgers to come back. For some reason, they want him back, despite
But
him
they
not
don't
being
like each
anything
other.
like you.
Rodgers,
Oh, that's right,
Rodgers.
they got
Like,
beef.
that's why McCarthy got fired. It was like a power struggle between him and Rodgers, and he lost.
Yeah.
And guess what? He gets fired. The next 2 seasons, they win 13 games, and Aaron Rodgers wins 2 MVPs.
Right. And like the thing between these two hires is like Jesse Minter, like I said, like I think he could be a good coach. He's young. He's kind of like on the come up, and so that's why I thought he might not get hired this cycle because Chargers defense a little up and down. So I thought maybe he would, need a little more time in the oven to bake another year or two before he got his head coaching gig. But I'm more optimistic for him than McCarthy for a multitude of reasons. One of them is Minter's taking over a much better roster.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big part of this.
Much better roster with a very talented defense that was injured and underperformed last year.
And a 2-time MVP at quarterback.
Yeah.
That's be nice.
And like, seriously, you know what? You know what the biggest red flag of all this is, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Mike McCarthy gets fired from Dallas or leaves via mutual pardon from Dallas. And the next year, the joke of the coaching cycle, Brian Schottenheimer, kind of seems to run a better offense than Mike McCarthy. Like, we were making Brian Schottenheimer jokes like they had hired fucking Curly Lambeau from the grave to coach this team.
Was he the worst? Who was the worst first-year head coach this year?
I mean, depends on what your definition of worst. Like, worst performing, Kellen Moore.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Like, in terms of wins and losses. Like, if we say
wins and losses, yeah.
Yeah, if we say who was the worst, like, I think Brian Schottenheimer was perfectly fine.
Yeah. And Kellen Moore, like, got his team going at the end of the year there,
yeah.
too.
Like, I also think Kellen Moore, like, I don't think there was, like, a truly terrible hiring this year.
No, that's fair.
Oh, Pete Carroll.
Oh, Pete Carroll was definitely.
Pete Carroll. Yeah, Pete Carroll.
He wasn't
So
a first-timer, though.
Mike, hear me out. Pete Carroll. Mike, final coaching note thing here. The Bills' job appears to be down to 2 names.
Okay.
Davis Webb and Grant Udinski is the offensive coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He did not call plays, but are we already starting the Liam Cohen coaching tree?
So fast you started that tree. Yeah, he didn't call plays.
Didn't call plays.
So like,
but neither did Davis Webb.
Know.
Because Davis Webb was the quarterback's coach, so why would he?
And the passing game coordinator. He coordinated the passing game.
If Davis Webb get this job, the Bills' offense is going to suck shit, right? Because it's just going to be Josh Allen calling the games. And Josh Allen's a great quarterback, but you don't want a quarterback calling your whole offense.
And Joe Brady got a second interview. In Vegas,
For head coach?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah,
we all know Clint Kubiak's getting hired in Vegas, so interview wherever you want, Joe Brady.
Yeah.
But if you had to pick between one of these 2 guys, would you pick the guy from Jacksonville who didn't call plays or the guy from Denver who didn't call plays?
Yeah, I guess you could say like which offense looked better this year, and that would be Jacksonville.
Right, but once
You
again,
boil it down to that.
once again, Liam Cohen was the head coach there, Mike. I don't know how much Grant Udinski was like, I've really designed an offense that's going to dominate.
No, right, but like in the week ahead of a game when these coaches are working on their game plan, what they're going to do, I'm pretty sure Cohen and Udinski were talking.
Yeah, I would assume the conversations would go like this. Udinski would go, "Hey, Liam, I'm thinking about calling this," and Liam would go, "No, here's what you're going to call."
I don't know. I'm not.
It's a bad year. It's a bad year to need a head coach.
Not a great year.
Which makes it even more embarrassing. You just fired the guy that's been to the playoffs 8 of the last 9 seasons.
Yeah.
Just take one more year, guys. Just take one more. See if there's a great coaching candidate on the market next year.
Mm-hmm. Hey, did you see Bieniemy's back?
Yeah.
KC.
Yeah,
that's
he's back.
It's an interesting move. Like, missed the playoffs for the first time in forever, and they're like, it's because we need Bieniemy back. He was the secret sauce.
They soft-fired Matt Nagy. They're like, Matt, you're going to go get a head coaching job. We're going to let you go do that. Have fun, buddy. Bieniemy, get in here. Get in here. Get in here.
It was just funny because, like, you guys won 2 Super Bowls without Bieniemy. I don't think you really needed him, but okay.
Yeah, you can kind of put whatever you want there. Once again, it's Andy Reid, so.
Right. That's what made me think of it when you were shitting on Udinski.
Yeah, Mike, so of the legitimate head coaching candidates, throw out the name that you're hoping the Bills hire. And then we'll get out of here.
Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald to the Bills. All right, Mike. That's it. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No.
Has Aaron Rodgers announced if he's coming back next year yet?
I haven't seen nothing, and I left my phone over there. So.
Well, with that, Mike, we'll be back in 2 days' time to do another podcast talking lots of college football. Talking lots of the college football. Talking lots of the college football. Probably doing a little bit of draft talk, a little bit of Super Bowl talk, but like I said, kick the Super Bowl into full stride next week. Thursday, we're ending our series playing Pokemon Fire Red Randomizer. You know what? We breathed some second life into that with the whole Pokemon randomizing thing. Had a crazy battle against gym leader Blaine. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, go back and watch the stream highlights. Or I guess not the stream highlights. We don't have stream highlights. Just go back and watch the stream.
We will, though.
What's up?
We will. Have stream highlights.
There you go. Mike's making writing checks his mouth can't cash.
Yes, per usual.
Mike's saying things that no one's going to make him back up. We have an Oscars pod that came out today. It was our Oscars draft that we did before the Oscar nominees got announced, so we get to mention some wild movies in wild ways. Really good pod. It's our first pod with a multicam edit, so drop a comment, send us a DM, let us know if you like that. If that's the style we want to go to, we can switch to that. It'll probably push back the podcast about 6 hours on upload, which means it'll be coming out the day after instead of the day of. But hey, if there's anything I do, it's give people what they want. Like a lot of fake conservative talk and ice jokes to start a podcast. Friday, episode of Basketball week. We were talking Warriors. We were talking trade deadline. And we were talking Warriors. Is there anything else we need to mention? Second stream this week. We got a stream going up on Sunday because there's no football, so we're going to be doing a second stream playing Silent Hill F. Finishing or doing some more of that game. Working our way through that before we move on to our next thing. Did I miss anything that we got to talk about here, Mike?
I watched Stranger Things season 5.
I don't care.
Can you talk about that?
So,
okay.
If you're listening to this on Spotify, be sure to give us 5 stars. We have woefully low ratings on there, despite the fact that we get a pretty good amount of listens on Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube,
you mean like not a lot of ratings, not low ratings, but like not amount of them submitted?
Yes, we only have 3 ratings submitted, despite the fact that we get triple-digit views. Not to throw numbers behind it.
Humble brag.
Yeah, humble brag. We get 1/1,000,000th of what Bill Simmons does.
We're coming, Bill.
If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Comment below. Tell us how much you think Mike could bench press. I'll set the over-under at 12.5. Yeah, you bench press with your biceps there, bud?
I'm not going to show you my chest.
Be sure to subscribe. Don't hit the bell. No one wants push notifications. The only person I know on earth who likes push notifications is Mike Regan, who gets 9 million of them a day, and they are ruining his life. Mike, if you didn't have that, you'd be a millionaire by now. If you turned off your push notifications, I haven't had the heart to tell you that until now. But be sure to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. If you don't want to do either one of those things, at least go in the comments and make fun of Mike's bench press numbers. With that, Mike, on the way out the door here, would you like to give a shout out to any one individual Pokemon?
Any one individual Pokemon. I wish I remember some of the Japanese names now. I forgot.
Oh, yeah, we were doing that bit on the the stream for a while. We also went through all the Marvel movies at one point, talked about those. It was a good stream.
It was a good stream. Yeah, let's think. Let's do a shout out to the Legless, Rockman, the Giga Chad, Geodude. That was terrible. You gave me a bad one. You teed me up poorly.
You wanna go with the conference championship shout out instead?
Dude, shout out.
Too bad. Podcast is over.
Oh, I had a good one.
What was your one? I'm gonna cut it out, but
I
I
was gonna shout out to Pat. Cover you like a curtain. Certain.
Certain. Certain.